So tell me, Jim, Louise, obviously things are going great. Tell us about the deal. You obviously optioned the transactions recently, and we shorted it. Massland had purchased it from you, and here is $220,000 cash as your profit. How does it feel?
Absolutely brilliant.
Right.
It feels, it's it. Yeah, again, we came here with our eyes wide open. We knew that there was some work to be done, but to see the result, for us, in what we consider to be a short time, is even better than our expectations.
Right.
You know, we moved up into this area, and we seriously started looking for options in around about April.
Yes.
And then we started to send the letters out. From the time we sent the letters out until we actually signed the option agreement was only 6 weeks. So it only took us 6 weeks. Right. You know, how many hours do we put into that? Oh. Look, truly, we sort of thought about that. We'd be lucky if it was sort of 50 to 60 hours.
50 to 60 hours.
Total.
And you were obviously sharing a bit of that workload too, Louise?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we split that up, and Louise is very involved. She came up with me to the meeting.
Yes.
This was an elderly lady, and we just thought it might be better to have a female there as well.
Good.
So, and it worked really well because it gave us the ability.
Well, Jim
Louise
was,
could engage, and then I could do my figures because you know we were
her and I were
discussing.
having a great old chat, and he's there madly doing his figures, so it worked out really well.
So it worked out absolutely perfect, and she's a lovely lady. You know, we found out, like you said, we ascertained her needs.
Yes.
What
were her needs, Jim?
Okay, her original price was
What were her
$700.
needs?
Well, her needs were certainty.
Certainty.
And security.
Good.
Two big issues. Right, she wanted a new home.
So you could demonstrate security and certainty.
Yep.
And once you'd worked out and I suppose isolated her needs,
Yeah.
was it fairly easy to engineer a solution to those needs?
Absolutely.
So-
Very simple and very short. We basically did all the negotiations within, what do you think, an hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour and a half, yeah.
From start?
Probably took us about 3 hours. We had to have a coffee and have a chat.
Yeah, lovely lady, you know.
Don't say that anyway. You don't talk 3 hours, yeah. Edit.
So it took us, you know, total,
Yeah.
maximum of an hour and a half from start to finish
Yep.
to determine what her needs were,
Yep.
find a way to meet them,
Yep.
and get the HOA signed.
Heads of agreement. Terrific. Now, you're saying that the input of that, research, working it up, letters and what have you, would have been around about 50 to 60 hours in total.
Yes, that's correct.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And that's $220,000 cash.
Yeah, so we figured
It's
it's
a
probably
good
not a
time.
bad hourly rate.
That's a pretty good hourly rate.
Yeah.
That's about $4,000 an hour.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So
isn't it?
it would be hard to be disappointed in that
I
hour.
agree, mate, I agree. Now tell us a little bit about your background and not so much what you did, but where you were when you came to property options,
Okay.
financially.
Well, financially, we had been doing different real estate stuff and developments and building. I'm a builder by trade, right? But we had done reasonably well. And then 2000 and whenever it was, 2008, when everything hit the floor, and we were caught in that, and we really started to lose money.
Yes.
Substantial amounts because we built property at the wrong end. We were at the top end of the market, and
Right.
that collapsed.
Right.
And we knew that if we continued along the way we were going, we would end up broke.
Got it.
Okay.
So you were losing money fast through the GFC.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, being at your point in life, that mattered.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Because
Was
we
it
didn't have a
important?
long window of opportunity here to reverse that.
Got it.
Right. So we came to options.
Yep.
And we both, after listening to you, not before we went to options, we listened to you at a 2-hour thing, and we both looked at each other and said, we have to go there, because you had something that I didn't have. Okay? I've got some basic skills, but I was lacking the in-depth knowledge of how to do it properly.
Great.
Okay, so we came along,
Yeah.
and we, as you know, I asked 1,000 questions because I wanted to know. I was desperate to know, because our financial position, we needed to turn this around quickly.
Got it.
Okay. We then made a conscious decision to relocate ourselves.
Yeah.
Because where we were, it just wasn't.
Yeah.
The opportunities weren't there.
It just wasn't there. And listening to you and looking at the opportunities you guys have come up with, we thought, okay, well, the only way it's going to work for us is we've got to take a full run at this, which we did.
Yeah.
So we did options, then we did conclave in January this year.
Yep.
Okay, moved up here, found ourselves a house, we had to go and find a whole new council, all that stuff. So that was a delay in getting started on options, otherwise it would have been earlier.
Yeah.
But we thought, no, we have to play it by the rules.
So
all we've done
financially-
is follow what you said.
Yeah, good. So financially, what sort of dollars would you say in terms of debt that you were in?
In debt?
Yeah.
Well, we still have asset base, but
What
what we
debt?
were doing was we were selling assets.
Yeah. So what sort of debt would you have had over your head when you came to property options?
Well, we still had more assets than debt.
So what debt did you have over when you came to property options? I'll ask it a third time.
No,
You had no debt.
no.
Okay.
Only on property, which we had. We
So
didn't
what
have
debt?
any outstanding debts
So-
or
so
creditors
property
or
debt?
anything like
Yeah.
that.
Do you talk about debt in property?
Debt.
Yep.
It's all the same thing.
Gee, probably about 1 point.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
1.2?
2.
1.2. So when you came to property options, you had a debt of 1.2.
Yeah.
At what age in life were you at 1.2?
60.
60.
Mm.
Not a good
But
place to
then
be.
obviously with that 1.2 there were assets to offset that debt.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at the point in time you had 60 years old with 1.2 of debt.
Yeah.
And the GFC was now gouging in and you were losing
Yeah.
fast. Wow, pretty scary time.
Hmm.
So-
Interesting times. Good challenge.
Good challenge. Some people might think of it differently to that. But and what you obviously did was use the options. You turned that around. You've obviously put together some transactions, this being one,
Yeah.
$220,000 cash. And congratulations to you both.
Thank
You know, for that, you've done extremely well. You were saying about 50 to 60 hours. Over what period was that? Around about 6 weeks.
Yeah,
So you'd said about a month and a half.
Yep.
You've gone from nothing to $220,000 cash in a month and a half.
Correct.
Yeah, that's pretty good going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Louise, well done. Now, we'll cut that off there. Now, just to fill us in, and you're working on some other deals right now.
Yeah, we
You've
are.
literally got on foot.
We have.
From your conclave experience, you've worked up a small transaction. Now, I'd ask that you don't disclose where it is. That's obviously your intellectual property. I encourage you to keep that. But tell me about the deal. How many units? What sort of profit? How long will it take to turn that profit out, do you feel?
Okay.
And taking that as your profit and obviously harvesting that.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason that this has given us the benefit
Yeah.
to be able to leverage
Yeah.
into this property. Without that, we
Yeah.
would struggle big
Right.
time, right? So
Fantastic.
this is an absolute necessity for us to
Right.
be able to move on.
So how are you going to scale that pile of cash? What sort of profits in the next deal?
$540,000.
540,000 cash.
Yeah.
And that's out of how many units?
It's 6 units and and slide the house off
Got
and sell the house. You know the old
Yeah. So shift it
Straight up.
across, renovate it,
Yeah,
and there's 6
absolutely.
individual units.
Yeah.
That's 540,000 net.
Yeah,
Okay, what period would that take now to turn that out?
9 to 10 months.
9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
So call it 10 months
Yep.
to be safe, conservative,
Yes.
Yeah.
and at least $500,000 in cash.
Yeah.
Is that a bit different from the old days, the old experiences?
Mate, it's like chalk and cheese. You know, it is.
So different.
It is, and we are so happy that we made that decision
Yeah.
because it is. It's so different now.
Yeah.
We're actually enjoying this.
Yeah.
Before, it was really hard work.
It was
you know.
work.
Yeah.
Got it. Now it's more
And-
fun,
well,
more
yeah,
joyous.
this is a real excitement. You know, we want to get back and start looking for some more options.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, it is such a different way of doing business. We are more traditional style
Yeah.
developers.
Yeah.
And we were making a living most years. Some years we lost,
Yeah.
but nothing like
Yeah.
what we can achieve or what
Yeah.
we've achieved in this last 12 months
Yeah.
is better than we've been able to achieve in any 12-month period ever
Got it.
previously.
In summary, would you say that Conclave was a very wise and prudent investment?
One answer, yes, and you can answer that yourself. We invested the conclave money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's come back to us. I reckon that's an excellent return on the investment.
Oh,
Your ROI is pretty good, I reckon.
Totally.
And there's no risk. There was no cash outlay.
Yes.
There's no risk with council because we
Yeah.
sold it short.
Yes.
Right, you take all the risk.
Yes.
You can have that. See you later.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So when you add that, it's not just this amount.
Yeah.
Right. It's also the other factors.
No risk.
No risk. No cash outlay.
You've got
We
it.
didn't have the money to develop it,
Correct.
as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for us, this is a perfect opportunity, and I think we've done well, and we've made the best of the opportunity, and this will now move us on to the next stage.
With 6 weeks, if I can just be clear, 6 weeks for 220,000 cash
Yeah.
is a ridiculous amount of money.
It is.
That's almost $250,000 in, you know,
Yeah.
a month and a half.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. We're not far off the kind of numbers.
No.
It's a huge amount of money.
Do you think
Hello?
I should give you some back?
You can do so. There's plenty more where that came from. But I just want to say, sincerely, just how I suppose honoured I am and how excited I am to see you arrive. You know, it's just wonderful. I mean, there's another person, and again, we have a little sort of whiteboard at the back. It's like another one free, and it really is. Not that 200 grand is going to get you free, or 220,000 get you free, but now you know the mechanism.
Exactly.
Now you understand. It's demystified. You know the path ahead.
It's a quantum shift in your thought processing, how you attack it. It's just, it is nothing like we were doing 12 months ago. Nothing like it. And the results are so incredibly good compared to the other side, and the risk that we used to put ourselves through.
Yes.
That you mitigate risk. Well, that's probably the best thing we've learned as well, is to limit that risk, mitigate it as best way you can. So the outcome for us has been life-changing. Best way to describe it.
Terrific.
And in the positive, obviously.
How would you define in one word your position today, Louise? How would you sort of summarise where you are right now? What would be one word you'd label with?
How I feel, you mean? Comfortable.
Comfortable. Yeah. Jim, what would you say? One word that would summarise?
Easy, excited.
Easy, excited. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Excited about what's going to happen in the next 12 months, 2 years, 5 years.
Well, I'd say the next deal with $540,000 in it. It's a great little transaction. And you know how to execute that. You know how to remove the risk, you know how to pre-sell, come up with your program takeout, you know the moves and the techniques now.
And we've actually, interestingly, we've funded it, or we're getting it funded now, on 4 pre-sales, which is only 66%, by the CBA.
Wow.
And they're giving us 80% of the on-completion valuations, which will fund the entire project with no money in from us.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Really?
Absolutely.
From CBA?
CBA.
Right, and that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, I think you should know that, because, that's...
You optioned this one?
No, this is the Bridge Street one. But, it's good that they have come to that party.
That's healthy. If CBA is going to be development finance for 80% of gross realisation, GR, that's
On
telling.
6 units, because normally it's only up to 3 or 2 or 3.
That's
But they've looked at the figures, and they've looked at we put an IM together, like you guys teach us how to do. The valuations came in even higher than our pricing, like our price point. So the bank says, this is easy.
Great stuff, mate. Great stuff.
So
That's
interesting times.
That's a course in something new, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, mate.
Instead
Well done.
Instead of crawling on our legs too late.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Louise. Truly, mate, you guys have heard that.